What's going on, everybody? Atomic here, bringing you back to the tutorial land. So this one, we got a pretty cool one. So we have a automatic crop farm. So what happens is the villagers, I throw them carrots and what is that, potatoes? Yeah. He's gonna harvest it. He's gonna see this dude over here and then just kind of throw it over there to him. And when he goes to throw it, everything comes down in here. Let's see if he'll do it for us. No, they're kind of shy. Will you? I'm sorry. Anyways, let me show y'all what's going to be needed for this build. So, for this build, and I know this is going to look like really complicated and confusing, but let me break it down for you. All of this is just for one side, and this is for the other side. You need 1 bucket of water for one side and 1 bucket of water for the other side. If you want to do just one, that's how you do it. Okay? Regardless, you're going to need 3 hoppers, 3 slabs, 4 trapdoors, your crop of choice, 1 chest, at least 2 villagers, but if you're going to go for the third one, or the second side, you'll need a 3rd villager. You will need 1 composter for each side, so we have 2 here. You will need a stack plus 14 for each side. So that would be 2 stacks plus 28. You will need 2 rails for both sides. As I said before, 2 water buckets, 2 minecart hoppers, 2 minecart with hoppers. You will need a total of 8 lighting sources. If you're using sea lanterns or glowstone, you will only need 8. If you're using torches, you will need 16. And like I said before, you'll only need 3 slabs. So let's grab everything and get to building it. All right, so how we start this is you want to find you a decently flat area. So I've already got an area picked out for us. And you want to start it by making a hole. Very easy. From that hole, you want to count off 4 blocks in each direction to make sure everything's right. So we're just going to check this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually want to move this forward. Give me 1 second. All right, so we got that fixed. Anyways, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. And my 5th one, I'm going to put a block there. Okay? We're going to do that to this side over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. My 5th one, I'm going to place a block. And 2 more times. All right, we have pretty much the outline of our farm. Next, what you're going to do is go ahead and grab 1 of your slabs and 1 of your water buckets and go ahead and grab a composter while you're at it. So first, we're going to go to this middle hole that we have created and we're going to place the slab directly inside of there. Then we're going to take our water bucket and we're going to waterlog that slab. Next, after you have this waterlogged, you want to place your composter directly on top of this slab and the water. It's not going to cover it up. Like, remove the water, it will be just fine. Composter's there. We're going to go ahead and move that out of the way. Next, you are going to till up that 4 on each side and make the square out of it. And I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. All right, so there was the 4 that way. All right, so there was the 4 in every direction. And whenever I say we need to make a square out of it, we just literally connect it up like that. And then you till up everything in between that. So let's go ahead and do that to the rest of the sides. Next, so we don't destroy our crops, we're going to go ahead and start our wall around it. Now the wall, like I said, destroy the crops. The wall is literally going to be the border touching your, what is that grounding called? Farmland. Wow. So yeah, it's going to be pretty much right there touching the farmland, but not on top of it. So we're going to go ahead and make this border all the way around. And once we do that, I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so we have the border all the way around. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to go up to my composter And I'm gonna go ahead and grab my lighting, just like that. You don't have to use one of these, and I will show y'all it works just the same by using torches. So we're gonna place a torch all the way across, and we'll probably have to tilt that back up doing this, but there we go. And we have one on top. All right, every center, go ahead and lift it up by one more block and go ahead and place a torch on it, or whatever light source you have. So that's the center, that is exact center, and this is center. Now that we have all of our torches in place, we want to go ahead and get back on top and go ahead and take the border all the way around at your 2 high mark. Now your farm should be looking something like this, a normal little farm with a composter, your water, and some lighting. The next part, we're going to go ahead and figure out where we want our collection system. As you see, we have a collection system over there. Well, I want my collection system to be on this side because I have the most room. So that torch that I placed, it represents the exact center for me. So I want my collection system to be in the middle. So we're going to remove these 2 blocks right here. And that removed one of our torches. That's fine. What we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to stop working on that farm for a little bit and come over to the next side. If you are making it 2, this will be the next step. If not, I will leave a time card. That way y'all can just skip forward to this. Okay, so the next step, if you're making this 2, is to skip 1 dirt and go to your second one. You need this whole area, as you see right there, that whole middle area completely open. And then you want to pretty much replicate that entire farm. So we know our collection is here, so that's going to be our center. So we want to come off and line everything up. Okay, so we know from this one right here, it's going to be 4 that way. So that's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, and that should be where our water goes. So we're going to go off 1, 2, 3, 4, and hit our 5th one. So if that makes sense, so here's our border. From our border, we come off 1, 2, 3, 4. And when we came over here, we went 1, 2, 3, 4, and placed it on the 5th one. Now that we have this marked, we're gonna go ahead and get all of our directions done correctly. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th one, and it lines up perfect. Let's go ahead and get our perimeter surrounded, and then we will continue on. All right, so we are now looking pretty good. And again, you wanna place your slab in here, and you wanna go ahead and grab your water bucket. Next, you wanna go ahead and grab your composter, and I'm gonna use the other light source on this just so y'all can see it. Just like so. Now we're gonna go ahead and mark all of our middles. So this is a middle, this is a middle. We don't need that there anymore. And this is a middle. Perfect. Now we're gonna go ahead and continue our 2 high all the way around this one. All right, now that you have it 2 high, we should be looking like this. We have the same farms, and then we have a 1 block gap in between all of these. Our collection system is going to be right in the center. So yeah, let's go ahead and now get all of this tilled up just like before. So I'm gonna speed this up and then we'll go on to the next one. All right, so we went ahead and planted the crops here and got everything looking just the same as over there. Now I'm going to be using 2 different types in this one. I'm using carrots and potatoes to make it very easy. Okay, so the areas that we have cut out right here, and this goes along for the single-sided people as well. You're gonna go ahead and cut out, see how we made this area right here for the collection? We're gonna take out this block, and this block. So it's right here at the doorway, we took out one underneath. Right here at the doorway, we took out one underneath. And in the middle, we took out one in right there. How I like to do this is I want my collection to be wow, they're loud. I want my collection to be actually over there because that's a bigger area. So right here in this middle, you're gonna go ahead and crouch. You don't have to crouch, but I like to crouch, and right click the dirt just like that. Now we have our hopper going directly into that dirt. Now we're gonna go ahead and grab our chest, and we're gonna place our chest. Now we know that the hopper is going into the chest. Arrow is still facing it, we're good to go. We're gonna jump over here, and we're gonna take a hopper going into the middle hopper. Arrow going into that one, and we're gonna do the same thing on this side over here. All we have to do is shift and click it in, arrow going into that one. We're perfect. So everything is how it should be. Okay guys, so we're about 75% done with this build. We are getting there. What you're gonna do next is go ahead and grab your 2 rails. Okay, in between this gap right here and this gap right here, you're gonna go ahead and place a rail directly on top of your hopper. Make sure it's facing the correct direction. Okay, this right here is the correct direction, to whereas this is wrong. So make sure they are going just like that one right there. And the easiest way to do it is come from the side, and there we go. Next, we're gonna go ahead and get prepared for our first villager. So right here in the center, on top of the chest hopper, this hopper that's going into the chest, we're gonna go ahead and click 2 blocks directly on top of that hopper. You're gonna go ahead and take your trapdoors, and you're gonna place one towards the bottom of this block and one towards the bottom of the top block. So bottom, bottom, and you're gonna go ahead and right click and open both of those. And we're gonna do the same thing on this side over here. We're gonna click it towards the bottom, and we're gonna click it towards the bottom. Now, we're gonna go ahead and get up here and break these 2 blocks directly in between. Now we kind of have like a wall here. Next, we're gonna go ahead and grab our minecart hopper, put it on this rail, and put one on this rail. Next, we can go ahead and get our villager in here. If you're using a villager spawn egg, press shift and click him in just like that. Now he's just hanging out. If you're not using a villager spawn egg, make sure he has no seeds in his inventory when you're doing this. And this goes for the villagers that we're putting in here. The reason why is they'll start planting random stuff in there. Okay, so after you make sure he is a fresh villager and has nothing in his inventory, we're gonna go ahead and finish him off by placing a slab directly over top of him. We don't want him to get struck by lightning or just get attacked by some zombies or anything. All right, next, we are going to go ahead and get our villagers in place over here. First, I've got to finish planting this. I thought I did, but I'm going to go ahead and plant this. All right, so once you have all of your crops planted, you want to go ahead and get your villagers inside of here. Okay, so we're just going to put him right here. All right, so he took to the profession. Next, you want to make sure whatever crops that he is going to be doing is the only thing that you give him. You don't have to drop him any crops. I'm just trying to fill up his inventory quicker. So once everything is filled up, or once everything's grown, he will start throwing to that dude. So let me go ahead and throw these over here. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and get the other villager in and do the same thing. Oop, that's fine, we can fix that real quick. There you go. And he took to that profession. We're gonna go ahead and throw him some potatoes. All right, so he is full on inventory. All right guys, so that's literally all of the build. I would recommend putting a roof on this by going up, you know, one more higher like that, and then taking a little bit of glass and kind of taking it up like that so they don't get struck by lightning and get turned into a witch. So let's go ahead and see the results over here from when we first built it. So they're picking up the plants. He's got some poisonous potatoes over there, but as you see, we're working pretty well. That's gonna do it for this episode, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you're new, consider subscribing. But until next time, guys, I will see y'all on the next one.